Next at 5, football tragedy. Hear from a mother mourning the loss of her teenage son who died suddenly during practice.
Some say it's a call for justice. How Jesse Jackson is now weighing in on the death of Chavis Carter in Jonesboro.
And a deadly discovery inside a burning home in Midtown, the latest on the investigation. Our big story, something no parent should have to face, a mother forced to bury her son. Dana Payne died at football practice yesterday evening. He was just 15 years old. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Richard Ransom.
And I'm Zanetta Lowe. Claudia Barr is on assignment tonight. WREG's Candace McCowan spoke to Dana's mother, who is remembering her son's life and grieving his death.
Tamika Smith was hoping her son Dana had only a broken bone as she rushed to Le Bonheur Children's Hospital Tuesday night.
I realized it was serious when they got him off the ambulance and they were still pumping as they was walking.
She was watching as they tried to revive him until she was told Dana's heart was no longer beating. Tamika remembers the look on her son's face.
He was smiling. To me, he looked like that's what he was doing. That's what he wanted to do. He loved his football.
Tamika says she was proud of her son. Dana was close with his 2 younger brothers and extremely passionate about football. He played wide receiver and running back.
I just can see him now throwing footballs. I'm telling him quit throwing in my house.
Tamika says Dana had asthma, but it was managed with an inhaler and pills. He was cleared to play.
I believe that is exactly what happened. That they was running a play and he got hit hard. They said he got up, but he couldn't breathe.
For now, she's trying to stay strong for her family and all of her son's teammates and friends.
I'm glad that he died doing what he wanted to do and not in these streets with the gang members and they killing and all that. So he died very good.
Candace McCowan, WREG News Channel 3.
Now, 3 Millington Central High School students were actually taken to the hospital today by ambulance to be seen for emotional stress. 5 others were transported by their parents. They're expected to be okay. Students will be gathering at the Millington Central High School gym for a vigil tonight at 6:45.
Well, this tragedy has brought up many questions, including what student athletes must do before they can hit the field. WREG's sports director, Glenn Carver, is here now with some of the state rules that are aimed at keeping students safe. Glenn?
Well, Richard, Tennessee's governing body over athletics, the TSSAA, has rules and regulations in place to keep athletes safe, and they must be followed in order to compete. First and foremost, a student must have written evidence that he or she has passed a physical. It has to be signed by a doctor and is good for the entire school year. Now, if a student needs to be referred to another doctor, such as a specialist, that physician also has to sign papers clearing the student to play. And if there are any accommodations the student needs, those must be noted and followed as well. Again, Dana Payne's mother said her son had been cleared to be on the field. In the newsroom, Glenn Carver, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, thank you, Glenn. There's breaking news about the investigation into this man's death. Just minutes ago, Jonesboro police released new information on the shooting of Chavis Carter, and the department says the investigation is not over. We have Team 3 coverage tonight. Stephanie Skurlock spoke with Jesse Jackson, who's speaking out now on the case. But first, Wayne Carter is live in Jonesboro, where he's still sorting through this new information. Wayne.
That's right, Richard. I'm actually still sorting through it on my phone as we speak. It's about 4 pages long, and in it, the chief of police offers a little bit more information on all those videos we brought you last week that were released from officers' dash cam. Let's take a look at some of those, and let me point out some of the things that the police chief mentioned. We have said time and time again that we never heard or saw the moment of the shooting on the videotape. Well, in fact, now the police chief says he believes the moment is on the tape. But in fact, there was some kind of malfunction with the video equipment while the shooting happened at that exact moment. But it's something that they are still piecing together. He also mentioned that there are some videos that were on Chavis Carter's cell phone. He mentions one where 2 10-year-olds, approximately 10-year-old juveniles, are seen on video on Chavis Carter's phone smoking marijuana. He also says that there are text messages on his phone that police recovered where he text messaged his girlfriend while he was in police custody, saying he had a gun and that he was scared. Another tidbit of information on here is, in fact, that the chief does say that the pat down that we saw an officer giving Mr. Carter doesn't appear very extensive, and as former West Memphis Chief Bill Powder told me last week, or Bob Powder told me last week, that that was actually normal, that sometimes officers have to make a judgment call in the field. So that's some of the information in this document that we are combing through right now, and we'll continue to bring you more details as we get them. We are here in Jonesboro right now, where a march is getting ready to take place on the scene where, in fact, Chavis Carter was, in fact, shot, either by himself or someone else, as many believe. His mother just arrived here. Jesse Jackson just arrived here. They're walking around, talking to neighbors, doing whatever they can, and plan to march to the Jonesboro Police Department, where they will bring their concerns straight to them. We will be here following this, covering this all night long, and have more updates for you coming up tonight on News Channel 3 at 10. For now, we're live in Jonesboro. Wayne Carter, WREG-TV, News Channel 3.
All right, thank you, Wayne. Now, civil rights leader Jesse Jackson is in Jonesboro now, but he began his day in Memphis meeting with reporters, hoping to get the word out locally and nationally, for that matter, about his concerns surrounding Chavis Carter's death. On Your Side investigator Stephanie Skurlock is here with more on where the case may go from here. Steph?
Well, Richard, the case looks like it's headed to court. Chavis Carter's mother, Teresa, hired the Cochran firm to represent her and her son's interests. They're also calling for the FBI or the Justice Department to step in. Reverend Jesse Jackson, joined by the mother of Chavis Carter and her attorney, Benjamin Irwin, explained why the Jonesboro, Arkansas Police Department's story of what happened to Chavis Carter in the back of that police car doesn't add up.
Handcuffed, left-handed, so he shot himself in the right temple with his left hand while being handcuffed. That is a kind of Houdini explanation that is beyond belief.
Jackson's trip to Memphis today got the attention of local and national media. He hopes to create the same kind of outcry that occurred when unarmed teen Trayvon Martin was killed. He calls this reenactment video produced by Jonesboro Police just acting. He says the real proof likely lies in the dash cam video.
He's sober, he's walking, he's talking, and there's a blanket tape, and then he's dead. And we're told that he committed suicide when in fact they frisked and searched him twice and found no weapon.
About 3 minutes of the video is missing. It picks up after Carter is shot. The attorney for the Carter family says they want the rest of the clip.
We're not going to do what exactly has been done already, which has been this rush to judgment, this decision to say it's suicide and it's nothing else. We don't know what happened that night, but we are going to conduct a thorough investigation to figure out what it was, what occurred that night.
The mother of Chavis Carter was mostly silent today, but is thankful for the new attention to her son's case.
It means so much to me. It means a whole lot. A whole lot.
Well, Carter and her attorney say if necessary, they will take legal steps to get what they want. For the On Your Side investigators, Stephanie Skurlock, WREG News Channel 3 live in the newsroom.
Thank you, Stephanie. Updating breaking news now from Midtown, where the body of a man was found in a burning home this morning. Around 10:30, fire broke out in the 1200 block of Jefferson near Cleveland. Firefighters found the man's body on the second floor. His name and cause of death haven't been released. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
That serial rapist Memphis police have been looking for is still out there. Police telling us tonight the man they arrested as a person of interest in the case was released with no charges filed against him. All three victims say their attacker drove a black Ford Mustang. 2 rapes occurred in the Westwood area, the other in the Berclair neighborhood.
An unregistered sex offender is in jail after he was found performing a lewd act on his porch just down the street from Woodell Middle School. Jeremiah Wynn is charged with violating the sex offender registry. One of his neighbors reported him to police. Wynn hadn't reported to his local sex offender's office since 2010.
Arkansas is confirming this year's first death from the West Nile virus. This on the same day the Centers for Disease Control says that this current outbreak is the largest ever in U.S. history. 38 states have reported human infections. There are more than 1,100 cases and at least 42 deaths so far. Experts say it can take weeks for people to show symptoms, and they expect many more cases.
Well, he said he was going to contest the August election, and today Kenneth Whalum Jr. made good on that promise. After losing the District 4 race for the county school board by less than 100 votes, Whalum says the election had errors with thousands of voters being disenfranchised.
We're just getting started tonight. Most Americans consider themselves part of the middle class.
But that percentage is dropping. How the earnings of some are being compared now to the times of World War II.
And historic find, what a man in Tennessee found when he was doing a little cleaning out in his attic that's turned into a civil rights treasure. We'll be back.
Hot weather across the Mid-South today. We hit 96 degrees. Is there any relief on the way? What about some rainfall? 7-day forecast is coming up. Stay with us.